Hello and welcome to the first of hopefully many YouTuber battle reports. This one is Konflikt 47, 1000 points, my Soviets versus my buddy Mike's Germans, playing hold until relieved. My forces battle, and my buddy Mike's. We rolled it up and I was the defender this time. I chose my 6-man Siberian Terror Squad and my Guard veterans to be the defenders. Not pictured here, the 7-man assault squad. The first lieutenant and the specialist medic were hiding behind this building. The werewolves were hiding back here. The air observer, I believe he started here, and if not, he ran on, and then second turn he was hiding there. The squad with the LMG were in these ruins. The zombies started in this region, and the rocket troops started here. The anti-tank rifle team and the spinny mech, flame spinny, they started in reserves. A little close-up of the objective we're fighting over, and then my squads. So, first turn. So I looked out and got the first draw. That was pretty important because what I wanted to do was really thin out this zombie group here. I've played against them before, and if they're able to get up on you or anything, it's going to be bad. So I thought I'd take the fight to them and hopefully pull both their attention, being slow, and then also the rocket troops up here away from the objective. So I decided to first send my regular squad with SMGs up and just try to inflict maximum casualties or re-casualties in the case of the zombies, and hopefully draw the attention of the rocket troops over. So dice rolling after that, we actually did pretty good. We pulled about 7 of them down, and gave Mike some hesitation going into his turn. For his first activation, he snapped to action. Like I mentioned, the units that were behind the building, there's a little ladder to go to the second story, so the lieutenant and his henchmen ran to the second floor. The assaults group, the 7-man with the assault rifles, they go to the ground floor. And like I mentioned, the hesitation, so seeing the casualty, his zombie group cut in half, he didn't want me to do it again with if assuming I passed my morale check for the horror unit, gunning them down and just completely wiping the squad out. So he decided to shoot out his rocket troops in assault. This turned out to be a mistake on his part. We discussed it after the fact, and yeah, it probably would have been better if he would have just jumped over and shot him, but either way, at the time, he was just trying to stop me wiping out his zombie group, and then being able to really stall his advance, so he sent in the rocket troops. They did gun down. These are only regular troops, so they were able to get, he gunned them down pretty quick. But I was able to inflict, significant casualties on him, and he dove back to the crater here. We're treating all these craters as soft cover, so I'm just -1 to hit. But this was the thing we were discussing after the fact. It probably would have been better if he had just jumped from here to here and just shot the group, and then he could have sent in the zombies and either weakened them or just saved it for next turn to for his rocket troops to gun them down. My turn, just kind of a delaying action, so I decided to try to do what I can to shoot to the assault group off screen and just put some pins and hopefully some damage. Nothing happens though. I get another pull. So yeah, his guy did start on the game on the board then, because this squad was marked as the target for the air observer. So getting him away from the objective, I just try to send them up to the wipe out him and the werewolves that are hiding back here, and just pull the airstrike away from my the objective. my next pull, seeing the weakened squad here and my chance to strike, his zombie squad moved off screen into the building here, more towards the objective. They are slow, so he has to kind of, he had to get them up there. So we run them up to try to gun these guys down, and like I mentioned, in their weakened state, we were able to just, by weight of fire and running up and being so close to the board edge, we just advanced and just lit into them with SMGs at close range. Started to, so yeah, we had a pretty good start, I'd say, to the game. Wiped out his rocket troops and significantly damaged his zombie group. So doing pretty good for the Russians so far. And to keep the morale up, we decide to jump his his air observer here. So 6-to-1 odds. So we did handle that pretty easily. So as you can see, we wiped that squad out and jumped my Siberian terrors behind the obstacles. In hindsight, I advanced on my heavy infantry and this is the tank hunter team, the one with the captured Panzerfaust, and I started firing onto the unit. I'm not sure who gave these guys the pin, whether it's the snipers, their initial shots, or the heavy infantry, but honestly, I advanced them up for a couple turns firing into the building, and I should have just ran them, but hindsight being 2020. Knowing the heavy infantry are approaching from the right, he needs to hurry up and get these guys out, so he sneaks the Germans out the back door here over to the right, to open fire on the guards, and is able to do significant casualties, but still protect himself from the anti-tank fire, anti-tank rifles. The LT also opens up. Him and his henchmen, I believe, both have assault rifles, so they were able to actually contribute especially at this range. Again, we're getting dragged down. We went down to try to save us, and it did pretty good. We kept the guys there, and they passed the morale check. The werewolves, seeing an easy target, and knowing they need to, if he doesn't take care of the Siberian terrors, I'm just going to sweep to the back right here and take out his assault group. He comes in. Again, we passed our horror check, and we're able to point blank fire, and we're able to wipe them out. But again, 5-2 with SMGs. That's kind of expected, at least looking at the numbers. His next pull, he runs. He gets his zombies here. He's going to attempt to assault. And we decide to do point blank fire. I mean, it's been working out pretty good for us so far. We're able to gun down most of them coming in. He whiffs on his roll, and yeah, we wiped that squad out. Again, we're going to go back and do some rereading of the rules, make sure we did that right. But it does look pretty effective. Point blank fire when you're coming in on some groups like the zombies or the werewolves, especially the werewolves with the lower numbers like that. But obviously, if we've been playing that rule wrong, or if you catch anything, let us know. The airstrike, we did. We had to go back and redo this part. We forgot to do it at the start, so we went ahead and did it now. And with a little effect, we got a couple pins, but really didn't do anything to the squad. And going on 3, you see my heavy infantry are just trudging along. The spinny mech here is getting ready to come on and do some damage, and got my last 2 holdout guards holding on to the objective. And with the combined fire of the squad that jumped back in the building with the advance of the Soviet infantry, they decided to get in cover, and between the fire of both of those, they wipe out the squad. Oh, my inexperienced squad decides to come on finally, and you can see my heavy infantry just plodding along. Seeing the open objective and the amount of reinforcements I have coming on, he decides to move, um, exit his rifle squad with LMG out of the building and starts making a push. My anti-tank rifle team is able to put a pin on his spinny mech, which actually forces it to fail. It had to go down. It failed an order thanks to that. So even though I wasn't able to damage it, it was nice keeping that in place. And I believe it was this squad. Yeah, this squad was able to, after I ran up, pop some shots at them, killed a guy. They were able to return fire, or one of the two, take out them, or one guy. Going on to 4, Spinny Mech runs up, cooks my inexperienced squad here. He really whiffs it. Does a lot of pins, but we're able to pass our morale check, and we're holding firm. The After he does this, we don't have a marker, but it is brought down. Or no, this turn it's caught on fire. My captured Panzerfaust team kind of was sneaking up through here on the right, and I was able to pop 2 shots off on it. I think they needed 6s. I was able to sneak 1, and caught it on fire and really messed it up. And then that kind of held it in place. The squad here it's moving forward, but he's cautiously, because he knows Siberian terrors, and we get kind of close to calling it at this point, because I'm about to jump on it with 20 Rift Tech troops, and I severely damaged that, and then we end up calling it on turn 5 as I'm holding the objective with the inexperienced squad, and we're able to, the anti-tank rifle, or the anti-tank rifles, on the heavy infantry are able to finish this squad out, and we didn't have markings on it, so I wasn't able to show, it was being destroyed. But at this point, we ended up calling it, because I haven't even moved. I wasn't able, we didn't even move the rest of my troops here, because we know they're gonna, pretty much any way he goes, they're coming down, likely here, or I can even swing them down here to gun them down in the open, move them up, or just have them dive on the objective as well. So it was pretty much decided at this point, and we thought we'd take some time to check out the other games, so we went ahead and called it here. But all pretty good game. We did have some takeaways on both sides. I think on Mike's, he really didn't get any results out of the specialist medic all game, and I'm not sure the forward air observer really did anything for him. He did paint up that airplane you saw. It was a Dust Tactics one, so it looks really impressive in person. So he wanted to he wanted to field that, obviously the same reason I'm fielding that little team and that little team right now. One, they're cheap, but two, you paint something up, you kind of want to field it. But I think like on my side, the sniper here, he really didn't do anything, so I'm probably going to look to drop him for maybe a flamethrower team or something to kind of mix things up. The Soviet, the heavy infantry in all the games have been really good, so keeping those. But I may mix up the number of my Siberian terrors, or really I'm thinking the guards. I may try to beef those up. And then on Mike, his stuff, we were kind of talking. I think he's going to drop the specialist medic, the air observer, and add in some more troops and probably some more LMGs. The spinny mech flame spinny's good. He's been enjoying it, and it's really good at normally clearing out all of this stuff, and it's one of his answers to the heavy infantry, and I think he's going to add in some other stuff to take them out, because he just takes so much of his force to deal with them that it allows me to sneak in other stuff. But Overall, a good game. And again, if you're ever in the Huntsville, Alabama area on the first and third Sunday, come on down to Rocket Republic Brewery. We're playing here. Um, Other areas we play are at the Deep and Lucky Dice Cafe, so we're pretty good there as far as having areas and opportunities to play. If you ever look up Rocket City Gamers Facebook group, you'll that's one of the larger ones for all the different gaming groups here, and you can get plugged into us that way. Thanks. Bye.